City in Hollywood.
J Squad.
All right, you guys. It's 10 o'clock p.m. Y'all know what time it is. It's the midnight run, and it's just me. It's that VINCE. And as always, I hope you folks are ready to have fun. You know, I had the Good Times remix coming up here. And, you know, we got to fly off, so I thought I'd put a little Airwolf on it on top. So, uh, if y'all jammed up, you pumped up, let's get going here. So first off, as always, tell me what you are drinking and smoking in the chat, folks. What are you drinking and smoking tonight? The great one wants to know. But I'll go ahead and begin with what I'm drinking. I decided to put a little brandy into an espresso coffee. Got a little bit of cinnamon in it. Got my water. And I have a Romeo and Juliet Nicaraguan cigar. I've already got it cut. It's ready to light up in just a minute. But tell me, what are you folks drinking and smoking out there? London Fog. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. All right, folks, start naming out your drinks, people. You know, it's very important that you never drink alone, folks. You always want to drink with friends there. All right, try not to drink alone in life. There, always drink with some good friends. Dale, you can keep on drinking that if you want. It's an unbranded Romeo and Juliet Nicaraguan cigar. Colombian coffee, good deal. That's what I'm talking about. Alkaline water, okay. All right, beers, San Miguel Light, okay. Neighbor's fireplace. Yeah, I guess it has been kind of cold lately. Winters are coming. It's December. Although I'm in South Carolina, so it's I think 55 degrees. It was 60 degrees yesterday. Hmm. Anybody else want to volunteer what they're drinking tonight? Say it in the comments below. All right. Hey, Kaizen, what's up there? I've not even spoke with VK VDM yet. Oh, I got a lot of new Blaha mints, but I got a video for that tomorrow. But it seems as though Vegan Gains is kind of triggered by him, but we can go through all that. Lactose-free whole milk. I didn't know they made it lactose-free, so that's something new to me. But folks, I'm feeling like a little smoke. It's time to light up, so let's get ready. Let's burn this baby, and then we're gonna answer some questions. Hmm. Shouldn't be doing the weed and sleeping pill there. That's not good for you. You either do one or the other, but not both. Yeah, I saw Lenny being live with Brad there. But it's like I said, folks. They go in and go out with relationship wise. They're friends and then they're enemies. They want to box each other and then all of a sudden they're friends again. Yeah, Richard's been triggered a lot lately. I don't more than usual. No, big trips isn't gay. Be nice. You know, Rob, I don't keep beer in my home. I just keep hard liquor and everything like that. I usually drink an Akuzi beer, but you know, with I do have a pipe coming in, a tobacco pipe. Once I get that straightened out, I'll definitely have a beer with that. I mean, it's just this particular cigar just goes good with coffee. Mm. Sailpipe tobacco, all right. That's too much of a good thing. Weed's gonna already put you to sleep there. You're not gonna need a sleeping pill on top of that. How's the love life going? No love life right now. I've been kind of busy lately, you know. We can get some mangina next year, so for now we just gonna do our thing. You know, when you get older and you've already done pretty much everything, you're I'm in a position of where you're not really pursuing things. I mean, you know, uh, uh, but no love life right now. Not cutting or anything. Just gonna. I'll wait till next year. And until now, it's just been kind of busy lately. Well, both of them did the Del Rey Misfits podcast, Kaizen. So, I mean, it's natural that they would have bartered together. I mean, they've worked together a bunch. All right, Dale. Just make sure you hit the replay here if you want to re-listen in as far as to what questions I'm going to answer. As like I said, there's a lot we're going to go over tonight. As you know, was on RX Muscles After Hours show. So I'm sure a lot of you guys want me to answer those questions, but you enjoy your walk there, okay? I think Pac-Man's going to win. Exactly, Greg. I can just let him come to me, you know. I mean, here's the thing about ladies, men, it doesn't really matter. If you got money in your pocket there, you're successful, you're doing things, you have that if you have that type of stature, you know what I mean, then you're not going to have any problems picking up any trim. Just put yourself in a position, be comfortable with yourself, be confident in yourself, and you'll have no problem with any of that type of stuff. She will open up like a flower to you. Yeah, I'm aware that Brad visited Lenny. They're gonna fall out and fall back in. That's what Delray Misfits do. That's what most friends do through life there. They fall in, they fall out there sometimes. It just happens. And I already told you guys already previously that they would get back together and cut out all the nignoggery and stuff. All right, Fernandez. Yes, it's very important to spend time with your son. So you enjoy the rest of your night there, all right? Exactly, Kaizen. That's if you're confident, you have a high status there, you got no problems at all. Just don't. I mean, that's why you want to make sure you manage your appearance whenever you go out to places. You never know who you might run into. Hmm. Frank from the gas station. Hmm. Interesting. I think I seen that message pop up in my Instagram, actually. I've been thinking about doing an Instagram show, but I'm not sure as far as to how that works. Like I said, I'm still trying out the Streamlabs. Hmm. Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, these cigars. Good. Normally I'd be smoking a Dominican cigar, but I felt like Nicaraguan tonight there, so. Well, Susan, electric vehicles are also the past there. In the late 19th century, early 20th century, most cars were actually electric there, you know. The benefit of an electric car is, people can put up solar panels and wind power, and then they can power up their cars naturally. And that's where that's where things are going. I mean, because nowadays they got electric 18 wheelers and everything, but electric vehicles are not only the future, but they're also the past as well. What's up, Johnny Phantom? Thanks for dropping in. Midnight run. We're gonna do it for 2 hours. Got the Nicaraguan. Just leave your comments down here. Try to get to them as best as I can there. So I've been kind of busy with the holiday season, so I've not caught up with too many of Lenny's live streams. But I mean, I'll go check them out probably this weekend when I have time or so forth. Sometimes I've not really watched too many videos. I didn't even make a video yesterday because I was all stacked up. What car do I drive? I mostly drive a 94 Mercedes C280. And I also have a Cadillac DeVille DHS. What brand cigar? Partagas. No, it wasn't a Partagas. He slid a Monte Cristo, I think, in there. But it was the American brand. Lord knows if he got caught with a Cuban cigar. No twink under the table today, so. I mean, I've had those days. This is long before YouTube or anything like that, though, where I would do some kinky stuff like that. But like I said, I'm older and wiser. I don't really need to do stuff like that anymore. So, not to, I mean, but I have done that before. I've had that occur. So, what's up, Robert? What do I have under my robe? My balls and my shaft. That's what I got. I swear, good Nicaraguan tonight there. Look at that ash, folks. That's quality cigar there, folks. I'm telling you. It's got a nice Sumatra wrap around it there with Nicaraguan long filler. Good stuff. Very simple. No, my heater is actually keeping me warm that's in the living room. The next person I'm debating is Vegan Gaze, actually. I'm not going to be debating Richard for a while. We've already done 2 debates here so far. Glad to hear you're good there, Robert. No, Blaha will probably just go on with life there. So, I mean, keep doing what he's doing. Which is, of course, naturally providing mints for all of us. Yeah, there's a lot of bugs to work out there as far as the automatic driving ones, but as far as the electric tractor trailers, they're buying a bunch of those. They're making electric tractor trailers, but the self-driving ones are far, far, far away. We're talking like 10 or 20 years. Hopefully by that time I'm not on the road, because even 20 years later, I certainly don't want to be caught around with those automated driving machines. Yes, there has been a lot of accidents. Macanudos are great, but they can be kind of expensive, and I usually don't get good deals on those. Well, this is an unbranded Romeo. You can go to Cigars International and just look it up there. This cigar just doesn't have a brand name on it there, but it's pretty much a Romeo and Juliet one. So very affordable. I bought a bundle of these, so they're about $2.20 a piece. Now I do actually keep the labeled Romeo and Juliet, and I also have a couple of Levas as well there. But these are some great cigars at a very low price if you get an unbranded one. You can't get these at a cigar shop. You just got to order them in. To thicken his ab wall, he should self-suck himself off there. Just reach down and put his legs over the top of his head there. That'll work out his abs. Just messing. Robert, I may not even have a choice in getting an electric vehicle, because that it's possible that that would be the only thing that would be produced at that time. I mean, I'm definitely going to hold on to my Mercedes for many years, which is why I bought it, and I'll just keep fixing it up. But there may come to a point in time to where, electric vehicles may be the only thing around, which is what'll happen eventually in about 50 years or so. There will be nothing but electric vehicles. There will not be any more gas vehicles. But I won't be around for that, so I'm not sure how old you are, but you may be around. Oh, I love tequila. Good stuff here. Unless, of course, they start putting heads in jars like they did in Futurama. You never know. Yeah, I've not seen Jay Masters around. Not sure what's going on with him. It's not a bad influencer, Athens. Remember, as I've always said, just drink in moderation. That's all you got to do. Hey, Andrew, I hope you're doing well tonight there. As always, welcome to the Midnight Run. I know you guys got a lot of questions for me, so just knock away, folks. Again, don't worry about donations, folks. There, I answer questions. It doesn't require a donation. I'm here just to hang out. This is something that, and I always have to remind people, this is something that I'm gonna do anyway on Friday at this point in time. So, hmm. I do have a different camera, but I also have a light as well that I can cut on and off. See, watch this. And back on it goes. So now I'm using a somewhat studio light. No, I don't have any Cuban cigars on me at this time here. After I left Verizon, because I'm spending a lot of money with paying for employees and stuff, because I now actually have people, contractors that I'm paying to update a few things. I've had to cut back on my expenses a bunch there, but that's probably going to end at the end of the year or so forth, because it's just an investment which is paying off now, so I'm going to be pretty good. So no, you can pretty much, if you have a Cuban cigar, you're not going to go to jail or get fined or anything like that. They're pretty lax on it at this point in time, especially with Biden being in office. Greg, anyone can be in the closet there. Well, Robert, remember the first cars really that was out were electric cars. Electric cars are actually more reliable than gas cars. They require less maintenance, actually. But there are some disadvantages as composed to gas vehicles here. My job is never to make a pick. Like I said, I'm gonna hold on to my Mercedes until the wheels fall off. So, uh, at this point in time, I'm driving gas. There, I'm not gonna buy an electric car. The batteries are too expensive if something happens to it there. But ultimately, it doesn't factor in as far as maintenance is concerned because an electric vehicle requires less maintenance. Self-driving cars are an enigma. I'm not going to trust a robot to drive my vehicle ever. I don't care if they automatically equip it. Nope. No self-driving vehicle for me. If I'm going to crash, it's going to be by my own doing. Uh, if Big Lenny was able to coordinate a routine, yeah, he could be a good stand-up comedian. Being a comedian is about organization. It's about putting things together to, create an entertaining experience. No, it's not. You don't have to buy Cuban cigars on the black market. If a friend or anyone goes to Cuba, they're allowed to bring back a certain number of Cuban cigars here. If you go to Kirby Allison's YouTube channel, or ask Kirby Allison, he can tell you how to easily get some Cuban cigars because that's all he smokes here. And I've spoken with him in the past. He's a really nice fellow. Some Key G, definitely appreciate the donation there. If you have a question, feel free to ask. Like I said, you don't have to give a donation in order to ask me any question there. Just to let you guys know. I would like donations, but at the end of the day, this is a free chat there, in other words, here. So Andrew, I don't do much Christmas shopping there. I buy cards or gift cards or so forth. I used to buy gifts, but people would always complain about it. So nowadays, I just give gift cards here. Let them buy their own shit. I hit the gym there. I don't roller skate. I do some bike riding occasionally. Usually in the summertime, I'll bike ride around, downtown Greenville. And they are revitalizing Piedmont, South Carolina, so we'll see about that. You mean Pugman? Not sure where he's at there. He'll probably pop in later on the night there, or he could be watching another channel there. No, always a good guy. He's been a big help in supporting the channel and helping it grow. So Tesla is going to be in some serious trouble there with Elon Musk because libtards are usually the main customer of Teslas, and Elon is pissing off the libtards. So on the other hand, that could be just his master plan. Big Lenny does have a sense of humor. It's just sometimes he just doesn't get the joke, or is actually part of the joke. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. But electric cars are not always exactly environmentally conscientious. It's those batteries there. Those batteries have a lot of stuff in it there to where, they're not something that you would want to put in a landfill. So they need to do something about that. Yeah, it's just better to get gift cards for people because people are assholes here, and my family can be assholes. So it's just, but really, I don't really get much for most of my family. Just mostly, definitely my mom there. Always take care of my mom. And I'll probably send my dad a card too, you know. It just really depends. May send my brother a card if I ever figure out where he's at there, so. Well, let Pugman come in whenever he wants to come in. He's a grown man there, just like all of us here. So, but like I said, that's why we always keep the replay. But like I said, good guy there. Definitely a big help to the channel. He uh, because of that, I was able to get some equipment there for the channel, computer, and stuff like that. So that way I can do more live streaming. So. Teddy Roosevelt actually had an electric car, Athens, and there's no more of a real man than Teddy Roosevelt. So think about that for a minute. Yeah, and I stand by that, Raw. That's the way families are sometimes. They're not appreciative. They want me to go get them a PlayStation 5 there. I'll get them a ColecoVision if they don't keep their mouths shut, you know. Just go into Goodwill there. I'll find something with some freaking paddles on it. No, you're not a loser, Cold Sea. It's a mode of transportation. Who cares, you know? As long as you take care of your vehicle, you're fine there. A vehicle it should not be used as a level of stature there, you know. Because, like I said, again, I've met a lot of losers that have driven nice cars there, you know. I can't tell if Lenny has been gaining weight or not there. That's one thing I'll never be able to tell. Well, Carl Winslow made a lot of money there, so you think about that. And of course, the guy that plays Steve Urkel, I think he's selling some sort of purple Urkel weed or something. Andrew, I already plan to do a live stream. It'll probably be like a little movie or something here. No, I wouldn't play the PS5 there. Like I said, I'm 45, so most of my gaming is long over with. Although some people my age are big gamers, I just fell out of the trend years ago. But if I was going to game, I'm going to game on my computer. I think a computer gives you a better value than a game system. I don't know who Patty Pimplet is here. You'll need to be more specific as far as to what that person does. Or, I can look them up later or so. Him or her. Well, he bikes and walks around a lot, so the shins are going to be in rough shape. But Locke, I definitely appreciate the $2 donation. Like I said, feel free to ask questions there. Like I said, you don't have to put in a donation in order to ask me any question here. So, but thanks again for donating there. So, like I said, I ain't gonna turn down no money, folks. Here, you know. So, mm. Well, Raw, you also got to pick up your groceries as well there. So, I definitely appreciate that, Steve. I try to make a very entertaining show, so I'm going to do the best I can there. Well, you've already heard my response on Cuban there, you know. And I've already explained to Jay Masters why I yelled at him, which he relayed back, you know. When conservative Cuban actually gets involved in the fitness and bodybuilding industry, then he's free to talk there. But, you know, if he's just sitting around like a lump of shit there and being a hanger on, then, you know, I'm gonna run a train on you there, you know. Run a Lionel up the ass. Well, I can't play Die Hard, it's copyrighted, but I do have some public domain videos that I'll be playing pretty soon. You guys are going to like it there. Buck breaking. I don't think we're going to discuss that. So I have no thoughts on it. Though boils can be caused by a number of things. There's no telling. I mean, it's not an STD or anything. I don't believe so. I don't really watch too much UFC there. I'm more of a Bellator type person, sort of. But again, I've not watched too much MMA lately. Most overrated exercise would be anything that works the inner thighs there. That's an overrated exercise, as well as I would say sissy squats as well. That's also overrated because you have regular squats, you have leg curls and stuff. Yeah, I heard the audio Jay left about Romano. I'm not a fan of the behind the neck press there because I've seen a lot of people get injured, tear their rotator cuff there. So no, I'm not a fan of the behind the back neck press. Andrew, I will drink eggnog if I'm at a friend's house, but regularly, no. It's just one of those holiday drinks there. It's just too creamy and too milky and stuff, so. Yeah, bad for rotators. I was on the live stream on Tuesday. And there's a couple of other there's a couple of other videos in there that are, it's a main video, and then there's two other videos that are broken up, but I was up there on Tuesday. Well, I am a sexy beast there, Raw. What do you expect? So behind the neck pull-ups are a bit different there. Those are but most people can't do behind the neck pull-ups there. So because of that, those who can do it are gonna have they're gonna have those muscles built up there. The reason why the behind the back press is so dangerous is because anyone can do it there. You know, someone that's doing behind the neck pull-ups already has to have their muscles already built up there in order to even do such an exercise. ZYZZ was the king of aesthetics here, you know. I think he was essential in bringing back on the popularity of people like Frank Zane, and he even posed like him. I mean, you have to remember around that particular time, the biggest thing in bodybuilding was GH guts and stuff like that, and I think ZYZZ made a 180 on stuff like that, He wasn't looking to be the biggest possible, but he just wanted to be shredded there. That's also what started that channel, that website Simply Shredded as well. So a lot of good things came up because of him. So just a shame that he died so early. No, it's high in sugar. Eggnog is high in sugar. It's even though it has milk in it, there's a lot of sugar in it. Upright rows are a pretty good exercise here. I don't consider that as being overrated. I mean, there's just the word I have usually for overrated is just something I won't do as a regular exercise. Georgia and Ohio State there. As much as I like Georgia, I think Ohio State may pull it out. Michigan I think, is definitely going to beat TCU. But we shall see. Anything can happen in a football game. That's just Romano's personality there. You got to remember, these guys are in their 60s there, He's not all, and not. I mean, yeah. Whenever I was around him 20 years ago or so forth, there, people were just a lot different. But yeah, you just got to get used to people's personalities here. Oh yeah, you already said that there. Yeah, he stays pretty much covered up there. Again, Raw, he's in his 60s there, dude. So James, I'm not sure what'll happen to Richard, but if he keeps on what he's doing, I fear for anyone who is within a mile of him. There, basically, I definitely don't want to be around whenever he finally pops. I mean, the thing about it is, there's plenty of ways to build muscle. Some people can do bicep curls or dumbbell curls. I mean, they're using different apparatuses. Some people use cable curls. As long as you're just putting on the muscle and you're targeting that part, you're perfectly fine with it. I don't really do upright rows there, but I've done them before, and it's a good exercise. Bruno has been as far as I know, Bruno Sammartino never used steroids. Never. I mean, he comes from that era to where he didn't, guys like him didn't need steroids. He's always been a big guy, even when he was a kid. Some people just have those genetics. Behind the back mixed grip, I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Like I said before, there's different variations of exercises. Just make sure you hit the part that you're wanting to hit. Hey, Angel, what's up? Bill Clinton got a shout out? Oh, I didn't know that. Funny you say that there, KS. Richard, a couple of years ago, this is many years ago when he was still scrawny there. He did an Elliot Roger type video, which alerted the authorities actually, and got pulled down there. But he did a video similar to that. It's probably still floating around on YouTube. It's perfectly fine to lock the hate and exercise here. There are exercises that I hate doing there as well. So, I mean, that's people are going to have their favorite exercises and then others don't there. Uh, I'm not sure what Genova's on there, but given his condition, he may be on something that's similar to that. I'm drinking espresso coffee with a mix of cinnamon and brandy. Thought I'd just put everything all into one. I didn't feel like having three different drinks with me tonight. And I have, of course, as always, fresh filtered water. Raw, all right. I'm gonna put it to you this way. There's a set you've probably heard of gaydar. Raw. For me to be attracted to someone, if I'm attracted to someone, that other person's gonna be gay. It's all about gaydar. It's not about just looking at someone and saying, "Oh, he looks good" and stuff like that. It that's what it's all about. It's gaydar. So let's say I was looking at you, for example, Rawl. That means that you're gay, that you enjoy the company of men. Hope that settles that situation. Susan, I don't know there. They seem to argue a lot there. But so did Archie Bunker. But I still see them together for many years. They seem to complement each other strangely. Yeah, they're attached to each other, I guess. I don't know. Yes, he does there, but it's now under control. He's in that conservatorship and stuff, so you know, nothing we can really do as far as to his condition. Well, soy rage is a real thing there. Like I said, those phytoestrogens, even though they're plant estrogens, they can definitely affect your if you're taking too much of it there. But yes, there's a such thing as soy rage. But more or less, if you're talking about veganism, that type of there is more of a case of vegan rage. The reason being is because they're getting very little calories, so they're usually hungry. And when you get hungry, you get grumpy. When you're not getting enough nutrients in. James, I actually did a video on that with him punching a pillow. Uh, Weird. But he's done a lot of other things. You should see the video to where he was making fun of a kid getting uh, knocked over by a ram there. He has a real bad sense of humor. Arturo Ferrente has some really good cigars here. It's a legit company. They've been around for a long time. Here's the thing about Richard. Like I said, he's in Canada, so I can't detect any type of gate. Can't use the gaydar on him. But if you look at his OnlyFans, since he enjoys pleasuring himself with a dildo and stuff like that, you got to think. It takes a lot in order to continuously give yourself a deep tissue massage there, especially for and then doing it publicly. It's just embarrassing. Hey, whenever I was working at Walmart there, I had cheap vodka and cheap wine and stuff, but I had it with friends. Sometimes sometimes when I was ever with my friends back in the day, I may not have had the best cigar. I may have had a Swisher Sweet. I may have had box wine. I may have had some Boone's Farm wine. But folks, you got to remember, it's all about being with your friends. The cigar may not be good. The drink may not be good, but as long as you're hanging out with your friends, that's what ties everything together. You don't need expensive cigars and you don't need expensive drinks. You just need your friends. That's it. It's better just to enjoy. I would rather have the cheapest stuff around and have my friends than have the most expensive stuff and have no friends around because you know you, I mean it's not enjoyable unless you're hanging out with people. That's why I also do these live streams as well. I don't like drinking alone and I don't like really smoking alone. Hope you guys understand. So no telling whether that cause for him is fetal alcohol syndrome. It's not really it's an old Krispy Kreme cup that my mom gave me. She worked at Krispy Kreme for like 28 years. She just recently retired. So everyone give my mom congrats for retiring. Mm. She actually retired about last month, actually. Kaizen, there's enough stuff. I think that Richard has enough stuff in his house there. He doesn't need anything extra. I've had my eyebrows waxed before, but that was back in my 20s in my younger years. I also had my hair greased and spiked as well, and even wore leather pants there back in the Puff Daddy days here. But that's an era that's long past. But yes, I've had it. I've had waxed eyebrows before. Richard will use an excuse or not use an excuse. I mean, but he certainly will challenge anyone to a fight there, but has no intentions there. But I got something for him. Just wait and see, folks, what I'm gonna do to him. You guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be some good mints, and I'm gonna do it Monday actually. So. Frank Dux, he may or may not be giving a bum rap there. Even though he was the inspiration for Bloodsport, no one has found really any evidence that something like that ever happened. And he's also had some tall tales, but I mean, his martial arts is legit. So, I mean, he's a legit martial artist there. That's Miss Goodrum, actually, Raw, but I appreciate the compliment there. It's not, like I said, folks, it's not good to drink alone and smoke alone, you know. Oh gosh, I love Stir Crazy. Anything that came from Richard, most stuff that came from Richard Pryor. Oh, that's good comedy. He was gonna do Blazing Saddles there, but he got himself in trouble. But that still turned out to be a great movie there. I could only imagine because you could tell it was going to be Richard Pryor because Gene Wilder was in Blazing Saddles there. That movie was actually meant for Richard Pryor, but like I said, he got in some trouble with cocaine. So, yep, that's exactly right. As well as especially in the '80s, and like I said, during the era, I wore some really funky stuff there. So. I mean, I wore leather. That was the shiny suit era. I wore shiny suits as well there. I mean, if you look at some old Puff Daddy videos and Junior Mafia videos, you'll see that type of stuff there. And I'm not no different than any other person from that era. No, 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 no. I definitely don't do no leather clubs. No. I definitely appreciate that, Hard. I did enjoy myself on RX Muscle. I was finally able to clear the air with John Romano there on things. Like I said, we've been arguing for like literally 25 years since like 1997, you know? And a lot of you people hyped on me why I didn't tear. We've been arguing for like 25 years. It was just time to put an end to it. And even he agreed. We just got tired of arguing with each other, in other words, here. It was ridiculous at that point in time. So I'm glad I was able to get rid of that whole situation because 25 years is too long to be arguing with someone. Those are rumors, Hart. There's no telling whether that actually happened or not. I know what you're talking about. Not saying it couldn't happen. Remember, this is the '70s and a lot of strange shit was going on there. So I wore mesh shirts too in the '90s. Yeah, I wore mesh shirts at gay clubs and stuff there, but not the real stuff that you actually see there. That was with the shiny suit on and stuff like that. But again, even if you went to straight clubs too, if you went to there was a club called the Sound Factory in New York. There, that was one that King Kamali went to a lot, as well as a lot of other bodybuilders. If you ever heard, I'm not sure if the Sound Factory is still around, but people was wearing that. This is things from that era. There, '70s people wore bell bottoms. '80s they wore thin ties, power suits, and stuff like that. Every decade is always going to be some different type of style there. Well, Lenny is exactly correct. There were clubs with guys inside and asking men to piss on them. So he's telling the truth on that. And I've been to clubs like that. So that's legit right there. I mean, Lenny wasn't lying about that. I definitely appreciate that. It wasn't much of an arm video there. I was just getting that's a pretty old video that I did. Raw, my home gym is mainly to accommodate the little space that I actually have, so I don't really have the space to put something like that in. Lenny can be, but when he was describing the club there, he was on point on that. So, Serratus, what's up there? How you doing? Mm. I'm telling you, this is a great cigar. I'm gonna try to get it to the nub actually. A total gym. Look, if you have very little space, a total gym is great to have. If you have the space, just get regular weights here. You know, I don't think Richard is using steroids here. If he was using steroids, then he wouldn't be making these excuses. Steroids would definitely get him out of his seat. It would help his recovery time and stuff like that, and he'd be lifting a lot heavier. If he was actually using steroids, and I couldn't tell. The Liver King is still going to sell supplements because pretty much everyone already knew he was on something. It's not the fact that he didn't build his business by claiming to be natural. He built it because people like this lifestyle of ancestral habits and hunting, like some caveman and stuff like that. He had a good marketing record. He's going to still continue doing it. So I think people are just going to ignore it, and people have already ignored it. It's big news now, but it's going to fade off much like everyone else here. I probably will never do a 4 hour stream. I did do a 3 hour stream one time when I accidentally came in too early. Uh, so that has happened before. But, again, unless I was gaming or something like that, that's one thing. And the biggest issue with running such a long stream is that it can get boring there at the same time. People will fall asleep, and you've probably seen Richard fall asleep on those streams. He's been doing 12-hour streams. That's crazy. Am I on try? If you're referring to trend, no, I'm not on any steroids. I'm not taking any actual injectable legitimate steroids in over 20 years. The last thing I actually used was technically a pro harm. Well, I guess it's actually a steroid, which was Delta 6 methyl testosterone that I used for a natural bodybuilding event, but it was perfectly legal because it was classified as a pro hormone. But truthfully, it was a steroid. It was banned like a year later, so. And it was also something that never showed up on any drug test that I took, so it was pretty awesome stuff. Got some wine, chilling with your cat. All right, that's what I'm talking about. You say I'm looking gaunt? Yeah, I mean, I could be. I mean, I think I look just the way I normally look. So, little. I mean, you're gonna notice that I am gonna be leaning out more and losing weight over time. It's going very slowly, but like I said, now that I'm winding down things here, don't eat as much there. No longer those big giant bodybuilding meals there. So, well, that's my whole point, Andrew. That's why I only do like 2 hour or 1 hour live streams here. If I'm gonna do that particular time, then I'll send. If I want to do more live streams, I'll break it down a lot more. Uh, but when you do a live stream that's 12 hours straight with no breaks, no lunch, no anything, it turns into a mess. Jack 3 got a lot of people sick and in the hospital there, but it was pretty strong stuff. Little less water. It's probably because I'm drinking coffee or so. Now, whenever I do videos in the morning, I look a lot more bloated until I take my hydrothorazine there, thorazine. Richard has too much invested in being a vegan, so he'll be a vegan for the rest of his life. Otherwise, he couldn't call himself Vegan Gains. He's at a point to where he's fully invested in it. But as far as Jasmine is concerned, I think she'll no longer be a vegan within a couple of years. She doesn't have the grips and means to hold on to it. Remember, she fed that dog meat there, so I can't put. I can actually see her getting rid of the vegan diet within a couple of years. And the only reason why she's still on it is because she's married to Richard. I think if she wasn't married to Richard, she probably wouldn't be no longer a vegan. GHB it helps you release growth hormone when you sleep there. So yes, it can burn fat there. It at that certain point. Craze was a pretty good was a good pre-workout, but like I said, it had stuff. It had a lot of stuff in there that was just too dangerous here. So I mean, just way too many stimulants. I never drive and smoke cigars here. That's just something I don't do. If I do smoke a cigar in a car, it's going to be when I'm stopped there. There's too many things that can happen when smoking a cigar while driving. It's just a good way to get yourself distracted and get yourself in an accident. Guys, and he has a horrible sleep schedule because he streams for 12 hours here. And when you stream for 12 hours and you're constantly looking at a screen, you're going to have trouble getting to sleep there, you know. You can't stream for 12 hours and then immediately go to sleep there. He definitely is going to have a hard time going to sleep because his mind is all wound up with running that live stream to begin with. Well, if it's doctor prescribed and it's working for you, then that's good there, you know. There's nothing wrong with taking medication or so forth there, but you don't want to over medicate yourself there. You know, you want to try natural solutions first before you want to, go to prescription medication. She doesn't have the dedication like Richard does. And she has nothing invested in veganism other than being married to Vegan Gains. I don't believe Vegan Gains is jealous of his life. He is jealous whenever he sees him actually being in a powerlifting show and Richard isn't in a powerlifting show. So I think he's more or less jealous about him competing in powerlifting and actually winning awards and getting trophies. Well, I mean, that's a common thing because when you're on YouTube, you do have to up your personality or so forth in order to be entertaining, which is what a lot of YouTube subscribers do. I mean, whenever I'm not doing a stream or video, I mean, I'm not going to refer to myself as the great one or anything like that. That's for entertainment purposes here. But other than that, most of my personality is pretty much the same. It makes it easier. It's better to just, for the most part, be yourself there. But you have to add an entertainment factor into a YouTube channel just to keep it interesting. I'm not sure why Lenny quit caffeine there. It could be for a number of things. I don't think it's for the effects of dying there, so. Hmm. All right, folks, the cigar's done. So, as always, we give it a little twist, and that's it. We shall put this to the side and get my coffee. That was an awesome cigar there. I aged that pretty well. So, if you age a cigar well, then it's going to be a better smoke. Never try to smoke something that you immediately get, even if you get it from a cigar lounge there. Just try if you can to order enough to where you can hold a few in for a couple weeks. Mm. But normally, when I get down to like 20 cigars, that's when I order a few more. So that way, any cigar I smoke has at least a week or two to age. I would be embarrassed to do something like that, Andrew. I may do it at a wrestling event, or if Dwayne Johnson walks around, I'll go and do that as well. I think he'll get a laugh out of it. Well, Lenny has those powerlifting genetics there. His powerlifting's legit. He's a big guy. He's been a big guy since that's just genetics right there. I'm not sure what Leo and longevity is doing, but he's pretty much practically finished there. He can still do videos, but a lot of people have lost a lot of respect for him because of his anti Semitic behavior. Mm. Mm. Lenny doesn't have to be strong for his body weight there. I'm sure he can't lift the way he used to lift whenever he was younger. But I mean, he still has the natural genetics there in order to lift pretty well. He can lift more than your average person. Well, Rawl, that is a possibility there that Leo could do that. Thailand. Thailand can be quite dangerous there. When ZYZZ passed away in that sauna, I mean, he got robbed there. So usually someone would go and call for medical attention. And if that person may have called for medical attention instead of robbing him, he may still be around there. Thailand is not one of the places to where I would go. Cold Sea, anyone, whether they're Democrat or Republican, they pretty much all work the same there. I try to avoid politics as best as I can there. I mean, it's good to be independent, but the issue with Democrats here is they think everyone's going to agree with them, and they try to force their types of things on other people there. And it's gotten too far, and there's a pushback. The problem with Republicans, on the other hand, is that they're disrespecting their base. In other words, and they're putting things up like going around and calling people groomers and stuff like that, teachers and police officers, anyone that doesn't agree with them, and you call them a groomer, you're just dissuading other people. But both parties are pretty much idiots here. It's up to you as a person, just and this is why I tell people stay away from these political pundits on Fox and CNN. Just watch your local news. Maybe read your Bible or something. So. Well, that's the thing about Thailand. If you got any amount of money, then you can pick up anyone that you want there. So that yeah, a lot of people live and go to Thailand because they can get away with stuff like that. that's with any poor nation. If you that's the same thing that Gary. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of Gary Glitter, but he would go to these poor countries so that way he can pick up little boys and stuff like that. You know, but you know that's the type of country that they're in, so it doesn't surprise me one bit. Exactly, KS. They're owned by the same people. You just got to be really careful there. Especially, you got to be careful with. I think the groomer thing is pretty much backfiring already, and between that backfiring with everything with all the other stuff being pushed on other people, it's best for me just to stay at home and smoke cigars and drink brandy, listen to the radio, and just stay away from this type of stuff until it calms down. I've never heard Lenny ever say that the ideal age is 13 there. I've never heard him that. Be nice, Athens. Be nice. Well, yes, Lo. Lenny's got good. I mean, as far as powerlifting is concerned, his genetics are built for that. You know. James, in order for to know whether someone's gay or not, they got to come out of the closet. Either that, or got to get caught taking it, you know, or anything. So, I mean, I guess you could stay in touch with TMZ. He may show up there. Brittany Griner, no, he wouldn't accept Big Lenny. She did get, even though she got back, folks. That reminds me. I need to let you guys know. When you go to someone else's country, make sure you follow the laws that are put in place. The world does not bow down for United States citizens. Also, don't go to shithole countries too. I don't know why people go and visit Iran and Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. You know, if you go to Saudi Arabia and you drink alcohol, for example, you know, they'll not only arrest you, but they'll beat you, you know, as well. I mean, literally. I don't think they play those songs anymore because of what he actually did there, you know. But yeah, they used to play that. They used to play a lot of. They used to play his songs in hockey games. But I think it's pretty much canceled. No different than. Well, there is one channel that's still actually playing. It's an off base black channel that still plays the Cosby Show. I think Leo was indeed born into some wealth there. It's not about being born in wealth, it's pretty much what you do with it. Lenny didn't squander his talent, he just got influenced by everybody else around him there. That's one thing I mentioned on his video. He just had too many people trying to tell him what to do and controlled him and stuff. And that's why you had him with the drug overdose and stuff like that. Instead of actually helping him out, they decided to keep filming. I mean, what kind of piece of garbage actually goes and films someone having a drug overdose? You call for an ambulance. But better yet, you snatch that stuff away if you see someone's doing something bad. If a friend of mine has had too much to drink, I'm going to take that liquor bottle away, and I'm also going to take the keys away, and I'm going to drive them home. I don't care if they throw up in my car or not there, and they have thrown up in my car before. I would rather be cleaning puke out of my car than going to someone's funeral there, you know. If someone's drunk too much, take the keys away from them, drive them home there, you know. And if someone's having a drug overdose, first off, just take away the drugs from them there. And then get them to a hospital. Don't stand around filming. That's one thing about these kids these days. People are in trouble. They see a fight or so forth. Rather than helping them out or trying to break up the fight, they seem to pull out their cameras and start filming. Stupid fucks, you know. Don't go to Iran quick pump. Just stay out of it. There's a lot. The thing about it is people always want to go to other countries, but they've never seen any of the United States. There's so many great states around that you can visit there. There's no need to go to another country there. if you're gonna go on any type of vacation, you know, travel the country and see all the sights. There's a lot of great things in the good old United States of America. Go visit the United States and travel around the country before you go to these other places there. And that's my opinion. There's nothing better than the United States here, you know. Yeah, I was kind of shocked there, but you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't surprised because these rumors about him was been around since the '70s here. I think it's ridiculous that these women are going out on him because they slept with them in order to advance their careers. You know, I mean, how can you go and rape 60 people and not one of them go and file a police report? That doesn't really make much sense. The only one I actually believe is the one that actually did file a police report, the very last person, you know. But you know, she signed an agreement and got $5 million and stuff like that, you know. When you take a cold shower there, it invigorates you there when you take a cold shower, you know, your body is at 99 degrees. You take a cold shower, you know, that temperature difference, you know, it causes the body to work more in order to warm up there, and that's why you feel energized. Find Emma. Must be talking to somebody else here. I mean, go visit there, but like I said, I would prefer that everyone go travels around the country rather than before going to these other countries. But if you're gonna visit any South Korea or so forth, you're not gonna be able to visit North Korea. You'd be crazy to go to North Korea, but if you're gonna visit these places, be respectful. In North Korea, you don't just leave your camera at home. But I wouldn't even go visit there to begin with. Yeah, Athens, people don't realize just how great this country is. There's a channel on YouTube, Lord Spoda or so forth. He tours the country and shows things. Yeah, World Star's it's a good channel to see people you know, act crazy and stuff. Well, I did the Halloween special though. As far as that 10 10 10 special. May do it next year during Halloween. Actually, I've not been outside the United States. I've been all around the country though. But eventually I'm probably going to go to Canada in about a year or two. I just wanted to see the United States first before really going anywhere else. Bam is dead? When? Doesn't look like he's passed away or anything like that. So Emma is in jail. Oh, that Emma! I remember her. So what? She can stay in jail. Me and Romano have never gotten to a physical altercation. We just worked together in 2007 with Muscular Development to put that Guns versus Goodrum show, but we've never gotten physical with each other because we've only met each other directly a few times there. I mean, we've argued whenever we were, but never a physical altercation. The only real physical altercation I ever got into was with Derek Anthony and with Don Long. I got into a physical altercation with him. So I'll tell that story one day. Don was gonna actually kick my ass at an expo because he thought that back in 2003, someone put up a post on uh Get Big. It was a really nasty one. They did like a mock bodybuilding contest between Tom Prince's dialysis machine and Don Long's dialysis machine. And he thought that I actually did it, which I didn't, so. But I've had other confrontations with other bodybuilders as well. Not physical per se, but I've had a lot of them curse me out at expos. So, I joined the military for a very short time. I think if you have the aptitude for, if you don't have the aptitude for the military, you shouldn't join itself there. I mean, it is a good way to travel there, but at the same time, remember you're in the military. So again, I wouldn't join the military just to travel there. Join the military because you want to be in the military. I haven't read about that as of yet. There, as far as that journalist is concerned, I think it is on TMZ actually. Let's see. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of issues coming out with that there, but there's not enough information right now. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the United States here, Athens. I mean, it's a great country to be in. I mean, this country does have problems like everyone else is there, but it's just still a great country. Raw, here's what I want you to do. I want you to rewind the video back to in the beginning as far as explaining that. So, well, folks, no more gay stuff or gay talk around here. This is the Midnight Run. You're free to ask questions there. We're gonna discuss bodybuilding or just mints there. And if you want to go on that channel, I would go to that James Charles channel if you want to discuss that type of stuff there. Just because I'm gay doesn't mean I want to go and talk about it all the time. In fact, I don't really want to talk about it. Like I said, because this isn't a James Charles channel or anything like that. This isn't Queer as Folk. This isn't what was the name of that fashion show? I don't know, but this is not a gay channel. This is a piss trooper channel. This is a mince channel. This is and stuff. So leave the gay stuff out of it. There, go if you want to go to the gay channel, go to Oprah, go to James Charles or somebody else's channel. Well, it's that temperature change that actually happens there, Lo. Raw, that doesn't surprise me as far as identity fraud. That's probably what got Melissa James killed by Craig Titus because she was known for stealing people's identity and running up credit cards. That's just a common thing. There's no telling Greg there. Right now, I don't have any real interest of going to Australia, but life has a funny way of doing things. There's a lot of things that I didn't think I would be able to do, and it just ended up just happening. So who knows? I may end up in Australia one day for some reason. Which one? He clapped back at a couple of my videos here, so I've not really seen that. So I've seen the very last one there, and he can say whatever he wants to say. But the truth hurts sometimes. The first charge was in the beginning of the year. You'll need to be more specific on that, Raw. Dave Palumbo had average genetics for bodybuilding. Uh, he was capable of becoming an IFBB pro, but he competed in an era to where there was just a lot of standout bodybuilders at that time there. If he hadn't gone to prison, for example, and he competed in a master's class, he would have definitely gotten his pro card there. But just because you get a pro card doesn't mean that you're a better bodybuilder. I mean, if you take Ken Jones, for example, Palumbo has a way better physique than Ken Jones, and he was an IFBB pro. So just because someone is a pro doesn't mean that that bodybuilder is better than the next one. It just really depends on the show. I mean, look at Big Sean Allen. He's an IFBB pro, but always finished behind, Palumbo and stuff. So the military is definitely not a vacation there. Even, that's you don't want to join the military just to travel. A lot of people join the military for the GI Bill, which I disagree with. I don't think people should join just to get a college education there. Go in the military if you have the aptitude. I didn't know that, Charlie. Could you tell me in the chat who he was debating with? Now that conservative Cuban understands why I yelled at him, I doubt he would want to get physical with me. Again, in life, it's best just to walk away from fights as best as you can. Sometimes the temper gets the best of you there, even with, road rage, for example. But, fighting doesn't solve anything. It just gets you in jail or prison there. There's a lot of people in prison because they didn't think properly through a situation there. But even with that being said, you just never know how you react to a particular situation. I'm usually up late working, Andrew, but I don't actually have any more work to do tonight, so I'll probably just read a book after this live stream and then I'll go to bed. But a lot of times, usually I work until 2 a.m. I do have to send out an order request to do a product scrape, so I got to go hire a contractor for that. But I think I'm gonna send that out tomorrow. What wrestlers I've met? I've met a ton of wrestlers. Just about practically anyone that's out there wrestling, I've probably met before. The best way to meet wrestlers is if you go to one of those meet and greets or one of those regional shows. They got one in particular that's in Tennessee where you can meet all. Where it's just like it's no different than a bodybuilding expo. If you go to a bodybuilding expo at the Mr. Olympia, you can practically meet every single bodybuilder out there, and that's the same with wrestling expos. If you go to a wrestling expo, you can meet just about every wrestler out there, current and retired there. So it's easy to meet every single wrestler there. You don't go to if you want to meet wrestlers face to face, you don't go to the show itself just to look at them. You go to an expo. But if you're going to sleep, Andrew, you have a good night there, and thanks again for tuning in. Antonio, I don't really like getting under Vegan Gains' skin per se. He does get on my nerves, and I do have to strike back whenever he's talking smack. He just needs to be a better person there. And, he just needs to calm down a bit, and get off most of that prescription medicine there that he's on. Because I don't think his doctors has his best interest because obviously it's not working. He also needs to quit doing these 12-hour live streams. He needs to also go on vacation. Any person that gets triggered because someone goes and tells them that they need to go on vacation, that's automatically a clue that person probably is having a mental lapse of some type there. I've not really followed the Idaho murders. I'm surprised that that person hasn't been caught there. It's just kind of odd there. There should be a ton of evidence out there to see who actually did it. It's just weird. Well, Charlie, he does that all the time. He closes out my videos early. The reason being is he knows what I'll say afterwards. You have to understand, Richard has already watched my videos before. So when he opens up a video, he's not surprised. He's already watched the video, so he knows what comes afterwards here. And if it's something that's educational, he'll close up the video immediately in order to put in his own narrative on things. But I mean, he watched the video long before someone suggested it to him. Well, I'm not a psychologist, Rawl, so I've heard that before. Testosterone men is not going down. I don't know where that's coming from. Itself there. One thing is for sure. I think we're becoming like ancient Rome, more or less. 100 years ago, people didn't really take as many baths. Nowadays, we bathe. People used to have one set of clothes. Now we have different sets of clothes and stuff like that. I mean, we're a pretty wealthy country compared to other countries out there. But, how would someone know if testosterone men as a whole is going down as opposed to 100 or 200 years ago? How would you be able to get that type of stat there, per se? You know what I'm saying? America is not crumbling. It's just it's in flux right now. It's always been in flux here. Things change. There's always new controversies. I think the difference is that information is communicated more rapidly than it used to be because now we have cell phones. Anything that happens there, we're going to immediately know about it. I think America, as well as other countries, are in what I consider a information overload. Well, Andy, even I lose my temper, and I've punched people out just for getting me upset. And it's always best to try not to. It's always best to walk away from a fight if you can, because, like I said, you don't want to go to jail or prison. You go. A lot of people are in prison for the rest of their lives or for many years when they could have just simply walked away. I'll go check that out there, Charlie. As far as him throwing the towel in, well, I definitely appreciate that. It was good being on RX Muscle there. I haven't worked with Dave in a couple of years, so I mean, it was about time I showed up for a bit. I don't think it'll be a more common thing. That's just a one-off type deal. Because again, I'm a very busy person there, so I had time that day. I had orders coming in, but I still made time for it. I don't know what John Bravo's income status is. Yeah, I work a lot of hours there, even with not working at Verizon anymore. I don't work as many hours because I no longer work at Verizon. But when you're running e-commerce sites, you always have to manage those to make sure they're up and running. But I wouldn't really call it work. It's enjoyable. It only takes me a few minutes to check websites to make sure they're still online. Well, when you do a 12-hour live stream and you've been in a stationary position for so long, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time getting out of your chair. I don't know why you would even answer a question like that, ask a question like that. So let's see. What's up? Calling out BS since 1775. Don't you mean 1776? I think you're 1 year off, but glad you're here. Still got 30 minutes left, so feel free to ask any question. There's no donation needed for that. I'm free to, you're free to ask me anything. It's good to donate, but if you want to ask me a question, don't worry about. This isn't Vegan Gains' channel, in other words, here. So that's just not my style of doing things. While I'm not a medical doctor, Vegan Gains does need to go to a doctor, but he needs to take it easy as well. Uh, he needs a combination of not only taking it easy, he needs to rest when he needs to rest, and he needs to push through the pain whenever he needs to. There, he's just doing everything wrong. I have laughable healthcare. I mean, my you'll have to be more specific. Are you talking countrywide or just myself here? Oh, about American healthcare coverage? That's not exactly true there. As far as pre existing conditions are concerned, it just really all depends. Our healthcare system is kind of weird, but on the other hand, there's other countries where even if they have free health insurance, if you need a cane or some sort of medical malady, you may have to wait months in order to get it there. So there's always positives and negatives here. But, we definitely need to get to a point to where we have healthcare as being manageable. That's one of the issues that we have in the United States. But, we're working on it as well as most other people are, most other countries are. But, the grass is not greener on either side. Dale, I wouldn't worry so much about that. When technology gets so advanced there, people will no longer have to work there. There won't be any need for money. People will be able to pursue their own interests there. Money will be a thing of the past when technology gets that advanced there. The reason being is, food needs will be made, home needs. The thing about it is, the only thing a human being needs in life is food, shelter, and water. When technology gets so advanced like that, the monetary system will end. There won't be any need for things like cryptocurrency or pyramid schemes or anything like that. The pursuit of making more money just to survive will be over with at that point in time. What is my to go cheat food? Probably those voodoo potato chips here with the salt and vinegar in it. That's probably my good cheat food, if anything. I don't eat too many snacks there. No, it's just not my thing. I definitely eat very little sweets, if anything. That's fine there, Charlie. You're good on that. Yes, when I say Richard or Vegan Gains, I am talking about the same person. I watched Memphis Wrestling and NWA, and then NWA Wrestling, of course, became WCW, or at least the Jim Crockett Promotions version of NWA became WCW. But yeah, I definitely watched a lot of Memphis Wrestling. I mean, I'm from I'm from the South there, so anyone that's in the South definitely watch Southern wrestling. WWF is more or less a New York type wrestling, so that wasn't something I watched there. It didn't. I mean, the thing about it is that WCW Memphis Wrestling NWA was broadcasted locally, uh, but WWF you actually had to have cable, so But that's why I watched mostly Memphis Wrestling and WCW as well as AWA when it was around. Yeah, America healthcare is the best because we pay because it's the most expensive there. I would like to see the cost of medicine to go down actually because a person gets into some sort of trouble and then, they lose their house, they lose their life savings there just over something to where another country would actually treat. So there's positives and negatives with that, Robert. Well, Charlie, if you're doing dating apps there, it's best to be truthful as far as to what you're actually doing because once you meet that woman, they're going to find out anyway. Don't lie on dating apps. Just be yourself and you should be fine. Favorite sci fi series of all time? Star Trek The Next Generation. That's something I watch with my mom as well as Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The only off show I did watch, I also watched Stargate SG1, and I watched the short series of Firefly and Space Above and Beyond, but it's always going to be the Star Trek series is my favorite. I actually did some backyard wrestling, but I have so yeah I've watched it and I did a couple of backyard wrestling things here. So very dumb of me. That's just one of those things you do as a kid there. So all right, yeah. Hacksaw was a lot bigger than most, than you thought. Most people who have never met Ric Flair, they're surprised as far as how big he is too. So, well, ECW didn't came on a cable network. It never came on local TV there, Charlie. You know, so I never watched any ECW. No, Andy, I don't there. So, Shawn Mike, well, that means I guess you watched a lot of WWF. Of course, my favorite wrestler was the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and the Four Horsemen. I think that was everyone's favorite. And of course, naturally, Tully Blanchard, he was the cool bad guy. So I don't have any thoughts on Sassy Savage Goddess at this present time. So Raidus, I don't have Netflix, so I have no opinion on it there. There's never been a successful presidency. There's just been a presidency. It's impossible for any president of the United States to make anyone happy. So no, his presidency definitely hasn't been a success, but neither has anyone else's. He's 6 feet tall, but he's a bodybuilder. He was a bodybuilder. I don't know what he looks like now. It's been a long time there, but he has a bodybuilder's physique. If you the biggest and John Cena, a lot of people think he looks a little short there, but he's a pretty huge person. Chris Benoit, most people thought he was a midget and stuff like that, but he was a pretty big guy and he was quite wide too. So, Brittany should have never went over the country with marijuana to begin with. I'm glad that she was released, but it was poor judgment on her part there. That's why I always say if you go to somebody else's country, respect their laws here. Because like I said, the world is not going to bow to you just because you're an American. I think Americans, whenever they go to other countries, they like to piss all over the place here. And I think that that's what Brittany did, as well as these other people. They didn't respect the laws and they got themselves locked up, and then we got to go and bail them out there. So Bray Wyatt does good work there. He gets if the crowd likes it there, then he's doing good there. If you're drawing praise or if you're drawing heat, then you're doing a job. The worst thing that can be for wrestlers if the audience doesn't react. Remember, it's sports entertainment, and if you're not entertaining anyone, then chances are you're going to be getting a pink slip. Cena's actually taller than 6 feet. Actually, I think he's a few inches taller than I. He was a few inches taller than I am. Yeah, he had a big head, but Benoit is actually a lot bigger than most people actually thought of him. And probably the reason being, is a lot of people in wrestling, the most popular people were pretty huge people. So whenever they were wrestling, someone would look tall as opposed to someone else here. Antonio Vegan Gains may not have a choice. I mean, he's it's a one trick pony. If he loses his YouTube channel, that's pretty much it. Me, I got no problems. I can go get myself another job. I may get another one in a couple months. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with actually having a job there. Richard is doing everything he possibly can in order not to get a job, and that's why he's doing these 12-hour live streams and stuff. So, Raw, that's going to be good for building up the legs there. So, I mean, it's sitting in a deep. I may have misunderstood that question you asked. Could you rephrase that actually? Hmm. Maybe I was drunk that day when I met him there last. I always felt that he was like a couple of inches taller than I am. Who knows? Either that or he may have been wearing platforms that day. Antonio, anyone can get a job there, regardless as to how nutty they are. I mean, look at Genova. Even with his autism, he's still able to work at Publix. So yeah, anyone can get a job. Is the thing about it is I don't think Vegan Gains has the pride to take up a job. When I got laid off of Alltel, and when I was making $40,000, there were no jobs around. I unloaded trucks at Walmart for $7.95 an hour. Now it wasn't glamorous work, and I didn't get paid much, obviously, but it was honest work. I didn't have to show my noodle or stick things up my ass there. Remember, in life, the only thing of real value you have is your pride and your respect. And once you do things the where you lose your pride and respect, then you are gonna, no matter how much money you make, you're gonna be the poorest man on the face of the planet. There's nothing more valuable in life than your pride and your respect. Richard has lost his pride and respect, so no matter how much money he makes, and I always say he makes more money, but no matter how much money he makes there, he's still broke there, because he's lost his pride and his respect after doing all those activities there. He is capable of getting a job there. It's not going to be a glamorous job there. Putting a timer and sitting in the bottom of the squat there. I mean, if you do that there, that would build up the legs, I guess, here. So, I've not talked to Genova in about a month or two, actually. I probably won't hear from him again after doing that interview with John Bravo. Well, Rawl, I'm actually built like my father, so my father was a pretty big guy as well. So, I mean, that's genetics here. So, along with heavy weightlifting as well. Well, it doesn't matter if he's working one day a week there. At least he's working there. And I think he actually is still working. I'm not for sure. He may or may not be working, but one thing about Genova, at least he did have a regular job there. I appreciate that there, Robert. I just try to do my thing there. Richard's too attached with money and stuff like that. If things get bad for me, if I find myself running low on money, I mean, I have 3,000 shares of Verizon stock, but If let's say something happens to me or so forth, to where I need money and I need to go get a job, then I'll go get a job. If there's no good job that's paying 40,000, I'll look for a job that pays 30,000. If there's no $30,000 jobs, I'll get a $20,000 job. If I don't have that, then I'll get a $10,000 job. It doesn't matter how much money you make as long as you're working. And you're doing whatever you can. You can never go wrong there. You know, and as long as I'm doing honest work there, that's just the whole thing. People get caught up as far as to how much money you make. You can make things work with $20,000. You may have to budget a bunch, but you can make it work. You have to make it work. But the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to sell yourself out there. So if I have to go get a $20,000 job, if I have to work part time for $10,000, then I'll do that there. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to go on OnlyFans and stick things up my ass or anything like that. You know, I'm not going to sell out my pride and respect because that's the most valuable thing that you have there. I'm not sure how long Jason has been working at Publix for, but at least he works there. Even if he's working 3 hours a week there, you have to remember he has autism, so that means a lot more. There's a lot of people that don't have his condition of autism and they can't even manage to get a job. All they do is collect food stamps and welfare. That's another thing. I'm not going around I'm not collecting any unemployment at this time or anything like that. So I got more respect for someone that has autism and is working, even if it's 3 hours a week there, because there's a lot of people out there that don't have autism. They're able to work, they're capable of working, but all they do is sit around and collect food stamps and get welfare. No, I can't share any Verizon shares. The reason why I have so many is because I worked at Alltel as well. So the remaining shares I had is combined with my Verizon shares. But that doesn't mean anything because even with that, dividends don't pay too much there. Of course, I'd like to have Pugman's secrets here. He seems to be a stock whiz. I'll have to pick his brain a little bit one of these days. That's another thing, Antonio. I'm way down on my Verizon shares. I think I've lost about $20,000 in value with it. But at the same time, it's going to go back up, so I'm not really too concerned with it. But if I was running low on money or so forth, I would probably share it. I would probably sell a few stocks there and get myself another job. But right now I'm doing, the websites are doing fine. Like I said, I'm not making as much money as I used to because I had a $70,000 a year job. But I'm doing honest work there, and that's all that really matters. I just have to budget more. So, but I'm really good at budgeting. I've always been a pretty frugal person. I wasn't really spending that much money to begin with anyway, but I trimmed it down to where I'm able to live a respectable living, and I don't have to stick things up my ass in order to do so. I ain't got to prostitute myself. I don't mind someone collecting food stamps if they're working there. If you're out there working and you're doing your best to find a job and you're in a position where you're not making enough money to to where you're able to pay for food, then that's not an issue. I would just recommend people, to go to a food bank first before collecting food stamps. There's a lot of, you go to a church or food bank or so forth, you're not going to always get the best food, but you got to make well as far as things are concerned. I casually know Jimmy the Bull. I've met him a few times there, but we're not friends. We're just acquaintances for the most part. The reason why I left Verizon is when COVID happened. We got all moved to home, uh, and they decided to become an all virtual company and no longer open up the offices. And then they changed the rules to where you can only have cable and fiber. I have no cable and fiber in my house. I put together a wireless router in order to work the 2 years. And then I could no longer. And then finally, they called me one day saying, "Hey, Melvin, uh, I can no longer use my wireless router." So that's when I hit the road. Basically, I can go back to Verizon if I move to an area to where it has cable and fiber, or if they happen to decide to open back up their physical offices here. But the thing about it is, I was only going to be there for 2 years, and I ended up being there for 7 years. You know, technically, I should have actually been let go 2 years ago, but because I crafted that wireless router, which is, I just had it a few minutes ago. Let me show you guys this here. This here is what I used in order to continue work at Verizon virtually. This is a PepWave wireless router that I actually used uh, because I didn't have no cable fiber, so I rigged this up. It works pretty well. It still works pretty well. Spent a lot of money for it, but it was worth it. But these are things that just happen there. I mean, uh, but truthfully, I would, even if I would get a $10,000 job or so forth, I'll work a $10,000 job if I have to. But honestly, Spectrum, AT&T, Facebook, and other companies have already contacted me. You have to understand that once you've worked for Verizon, you can work anywhere you want. Period. I think that would be a good idea there, Raw. I would definitely like to pick Pugman's head as far as the stocks are concerned. Blaha's not earning six figures here. I don't care if Vegan Gains doesn't never do a live debate with me. Like I said, I'm going to probably do a debate with Vegan Gays here. And there's other vegans that want to debate me, so I really don't care. It's not Verizon's fault at all there. It's just COVID there. COVID just affected me 2 years late. I mean, the truth of the matter is, I should have been gone 2 years ago. It's just that I'm pretty much a whiz kid as far as to coming up with solutions here. So, but it's a security matter as far as having cable and fiber. That could change, but who cares? I'm no longer working at Verizon. I'm doing other things now. Sometimes jobs don't happen. I mean, jobs don't last forever. Things happen in life. COVID happened. I no longer have a job. So what? I can go do something else. Right now, I'm running websites here and stuff and turn that into full time. I'm doing live streams. I'm writing again, actually. So, I mean, I'm pretty much capable of always finding ways to bring in income there. I don't have any update. I'm not even aware that Blaha's dating anyone there. I don't think you're Jason Blaha there. Next question. All right, folks, we got 5 minutes left, so get your questions in. Get your questions in. And then we're going to close it out, baby. In fact, let's get some closing music right now. How about that? Dr. Rackpool makes a lot of clickbait videos. I don't really have a favorite Slayer song. I just like their music, so I can't put my finger on one of them. I'm not joining his Rackpool's competition. Yes, I've gone hunting, but it's been quite some time. Went hunting with my Uncle George. He shot a deer and we skinned it there. Then we cut it up, put it in a bucket of salt water to soften up for a couple days, and then we baked some and we fried some up there. Really good. No, he didn't. He didn't meet that here. I mean, I love to fish. It's just I've not done it in quite some time there. But now that I'm no longer working, I probably will fish. It's just that I left in August. It's winter time now. When it comes summertime, I will go back to fishing. I don't like canned hunts there. I prefer, because if you it's not, I wouldn't even call it a hunt at all there. I think it's ridiculous. I think everyone has already done a rise and fall of vegan gains videos. I don't watch cricket. That's a British type sport there. I mean, if I went to Britain, for example, I would go to a cricket match. But I mean, I do watch some soccer. But remember, I'm an American, so we watch football and baseball. We don't so much as watch soccer. I mean, we're a football, baseball, and basketball type country. Serratus, I have no idea what that is here. I've never heard of something like that before. I'm sorry. When you said canned hunts there, oh no, that was somebody else here. I thought you were talking about preset hunts to where they already put out some animals there, and all you got to do is just shoot them. Yeah, they call football. They call soccer football in other countries. We're the only ones that really call it soccer. Well, you have a good night there, Andrew. Thanks again for tuning in to the Midnight Run, folks. We got 2 minutes left, so get your questions in there, okay? I may do a fishing live stream one day. It just depends. There's a lot of different live streams I want to do. It's just a matter of organization. Kaizen, it didn't really fail per se. I think it was quite successful there. There's a lot of there's a lot of countries that are doing American style football. It's just not at to the extent as far as to what we do. Dale is not an arch nemesis there. It's going to be the thing between Lenny and Dale is going to be is going to end up being the same thing that happened with Lenny and Brad. Probably not. Big Macs are disgusting. I did that for you folks there, so that's my way of saying I love you guys here. So, but no, a Big Mac is just a sugary. It's just nasty. It's made of low quality meat, very low quality meat. Maybe one day. All right, folks, it is midnight. And of course, when the clock strikes midnight, it is Saturday. So again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Midnight Run. I want to thank everyone that's donated. We're going to do a Earl Grey Tuesday again. That's going to be at 8 p.m. till 9. So I don't want you folks missing out on that. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm still trying to work out a movie live stream as well. So, but again, as always, folks, thanks again for tuning in. Peace and soul.